Hello, hello. Welcome to Jen Heartbeat. Awesome. Thank you for joining me today. Today's topic is super huge. Oh, by the way, you're here, hopefully, because you think you're going to get something out of this. I know this channel is for you if you are looking to empower yourself to get out of your own way, get unstuck, create a life you love, and all the wonderful things that helps do that. Strategies, mindset tools, manifestation tools, practical tools, spiritual tools, all the tools. Okay. Today's topic, you know from the label, how to make happiness a non-negotiable. This is super important. And I believe this particular portion will change your life. Probably because you haven't been focusing on it. If you're looking to be happier, or change something in your life, whether it's your relationships, whether it's your job, whether it's your finances, whether it's your body, whether it's the way you see yourself in the world, all these things primarily build happiness. I'm going to tell a little story time. Um, Back in, well, all throughout my life, or at least up until 2013, I had struggled with depression and anxiety. And I'm not saying that this is a cure all for everybody. This is just my experience and how I was able to shift after quite some time. And this will help you, I hope, or at least give you some insight and help you kind of jog yourself out of not necessarily depression, but getting out of your own way. So this is why I make happiness or feeling good and not in an addictive way per se, but in a healthy way as a paramount of how I live my life, no matter what happens. And this took a long time to learn. So here we go. So in 2013, I had been in therapy in different time spans and working through childhood trauma, complex PTSD, chronic depression, blah, blah, blah. And hopefully, you know that I'm not trying to offend anybody when I say these things. This is just how I roll, how I experience the world. Um, so in 2013, after a whole year of therapy, which was wonderful, my therapist was great, and I was ready to be released. And I was released, and she said I was okay, but I didn't have um, a support network. So that part was partially why this happened, and partially because my mindset without that external person, unfortunately, because I was a little codependent or a lot codependent, rolling my eyes for any codependents out there. But I was codependent on her seeing me and doing progress that I didn't know how to do it for myself. Even though that's the process of therapy, is you're working on skills like your emotional assessment, your emotional well-being, your physical, like all the things that you're working on to get your head straight or at least less crooked, that or your mindset, really. That's why I love doing mindset work. But that's part of the process, is supposed to be learning how to hold yourself up and take care of yourself. And I was still reliant on that. And I fell into some bad habits mentally again. And it went downhill quickly because I felt I lost somebody that was super important, that was really important. A therapist tends to be very important in somebody's life. So at that point, January turned into almost into February, and my depression from December, because I got released in December, all the way through the holidays and till early February, and it was just getting worse and worse. And I had one of those moments where I'm happy to say that I'm still here. And the reason why this is such a pivotal moment is that I don't want you to have to go to this level of darkness in your own life to say, I need to change. I'm sorry. I can remember myself back then. And I was not happy. um, and I didn't deserve to not be happy. But that moment when I decided not to do what a lot of people do when they're feeling overwhelmed or stressed I decided to stay, and I prayed. I did whatever I said. I said, if I'm going to be here, I'm committing to making myself happy. I'm doing whatever it takes because I'm tired of suffering. Sorry. I'm not sorry because it's important to release. It's important to release feelings because this is old stuff of like feeling so sad for that old person that I was and how awful that pain was. And whenever you're manifesting, like I'm a manifesting mindset channel because you can have anything in your life. Anything. Anything. But when you have a whole bunch of stuff inside and you don't have a proper clear channel in your head and you're not taking care of yourself, you don't put your needs at all on the list. This is why I'm always telling everybody like do this, do this, do this. So getting back to the story, I prayed. I said, I'll do anything to not feel this horrible. And luckily, I've never felt that horrible ever since. Now, it doesn't mean that I haven't had a bad day or like emotions are not the problem. It's staying stuck in those emotions and not letting them release and letting your suffering, letting your anger, letting whatever is holding you back from love or financial success or getting the body that you know you need for your health or feeling fulfilled in your job or feeling fulfilled in general, like in your sex life, in your in life in general, like having friends, having hobbies, having things to look forward to live life, to be free, basically. I had that wake up call, and the wake up call is being non-negotiable for my happiness and feeling good. Now, in context, people might say, oh, well, you're taking it too far because life is not always easy. And this is not saying that life is easy, but it can be simpler and it can be more flow. And the hard times, especially like nowadays, we can get through this and we can get through it once you make certain things in your life a non-negotiable. And in terms of non-negotiable, it's literally committing to yourself, basically, because everything else kind of emanates from that, and not an egocentric place. It's like you have more energy to love people, to love them properly when you take care of yourself in all ways, mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever have you. You have the bandwidth, you have the space. And if you have a lot of trauma or you have a lot of background or you have a lot of noise, like what's externally in the world, it's really hard to focus on yourself, especially if you're a people pleaser or you have codependency or you're addicted to something. You're really not taking care of yourself if you're in that mode. So, sorry, I have to. So, how do we make your happiness a non-negotiable? Well, is happiness one of your paramount desires? Because it's really, when working with clients, usually they're coming because they're upset because they don't have a job they want, or they don't have a job, or they don't have a relationship that they want. They want better communication skills. They want to date and they don't know how, or they just want to manifest more money, or they want to work. They don't know how to get out of their own way. It's like literally all that I teach people is getting out of your own way. And part of that is knowing what you want and usually looking at the pain points. Like, I don't like being here. I don't feel seen. I don't feel heard. I don't feel loved. That's a wake-up call. It's like, it's part of this is kind of like a shaking. I want to shake you in a good way and I give you a big hug. But it's if you want, say however you feel, if you feel depressed, angry, frustrated, or just sad and lonely, or not sure, like even confusion can feel horrible, depends on what you're thinking. Whatever the practice is that, okay, now you know what the problem is. Focus on the solution. The solution is, I will do anything and to be happy, to fall in love with the right person, to have an amazing sex life, and that means uncomfortable things sometimes, like being disciplined. And I'm not good at discipline sometimes. Wait, scratch that. I am good at discipline when it's important. That's why having a why about what you really need. I say this, and this is not to be offensive by anyone. And a friend of mine, we were having a discussion because of work and whatnot that she was going through, and her physical body. She wasn't happy with her body. And this was not a coaching client, but she asked for pro bono advice, and I gave it to her. It's like, if you had cancer, let's say, and that's a big, big, scary thing. If you wanted to live and be healthy, you would do anything in your power. That means if you had to sell a car, if it means you had to give up some pride and have people like donate to you, or work out every day and eat green smoothies, or whatever the things are that can create that change. And also healing, like with cancer, it's like a lot of healing old wounds. It's like you'll go in there. Same with depression. If, like, part of it is cultural. And I don't want to go into a big philosophy about why all of the United States is more depressed than most of the world, but it's cultural. We have been neglecting ourselves, not just our physical self, but our mental self, our spiritual selves, for so long that it comes out because we're not focusing on it. So what you get focuses on what you get what you focus on. And that's a universal spiritual law. You get what you focus on, or it expands. So if you think there are a lot of people that are assholes in the world, whether or not that's true, you're going to see more of them. It's part of your brain's system of processing is called the reticular activating system. If you say, I want to see a blue Nissan, you'll start seeing them. You'll start seeing more of them. You'll see more than you've ever seen in your entire life. And you're like, this is proof that your brain and your thoughts help create the external reality. Look up quantum physics, because I don't have time to explain it, but and that's also brain. So this is why I love psychology. This is why I love metaphysics and spirituality. It's because it all talks about the same thing. If you keep thinking that people are assholes, you're going to get assholes. Now, it doesn't mean to ignore, like, somebody beating someone up in front of you. Like, that's not the goal of, like, trying to pretend and trick your brain that there aren't occasional people that aren't on the spectrum. But it's to remind yourself of, what is your goal? If your goal is to be happy, it's not to focus on the things that are shitty. And it doesn't mean not, I know I'm running around, but I don't want this to be a deflective or spiritual bypassing or mental bypassing of all of your old shit either. Because if you have old shit with trauma and just old anger, resentments, things that are not serving you, you might need to look at them. No, you don't have to go deep, 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 because sometimes that's actually unproductive. Because after a while, and here's an example from therapy too. I remember in one of the rounds of therapy that I had 6 weeks on the same topic. We weren't getting anywhere. And she was a training therapist. She was in a graduate program. Another way, you'll figure it out. So I was on a sliding scale at that point, because therapy is dang expensive. Worth it, but expensive. So if you have the funds, I would suggest doing that, or hiring a coach like me. Whatever. Do whatever you have to do to get happy. So we were in this cycle. I don't even know what we were talking about because it's so long ago. But she's like, where we were at and the rapport that we had, and I wasn't going to run away because I needed her. She's like, I don't think we can do this anymore because we keep spinning around. Sorry, I'm going to take a sip of water. So I don't cry again. Because that's not the purpose of this video. But it's okay if you do cry. And I didn't know. So she said, I don't think we continue therapy because we keep hitting a wall. I was like, I don't want to, but I don't know how to get out of it. This mindset. And for whatever reason, maybe her supervisor gave her some skill that I didn't know yet. Or the fact that I just didn't want to be upset anymore. It has to be that important. No matter how many, procrastination, perfectionism, defenses, whatever you have, laziness even. It could be just a general malaise of nothing's matters, nothing's important. That's not true. Your life matters. You're worthy, you're important. I don't know why I'm crying. Your happiness matters. So making it non-negotiable should be a given. And maybe life and experiences and shitty relationships or shitty family or just an overall pessimistic outlook has kind of made you feel like it wasn't worth doing the work. But it's always fucking worth doing the work, because even though I might be crying now, I'm happy. I'm happy because I make that a non-negotiable, even when things are hard. And it doesn't mean I'm ignoring the hard days, but I put it in perspective. I know that the United States is not going to collapse. I know it for a fact, because people are stronger. I know that good things are always there, because when I was depressed, I'm just giving my depression as an example, not like your issue or desire might be very different. But when I was depressed, all I saw was people not loving me, people not respecting me, people not caring about me. I felt very alone. I felt all the things that you can imagine depression is if you've never experienced it. And it's really horrible to live every day like that. I didn't feel like there was much to live for. Little snippets here and there, but it really was like apathy, a whole litany of things, and then old shit like anger and resentment. Like, why do I got the short end of the stick? Blah 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 blah. All this bullshit victim mentality. And it didn't mean that those things didn't happen. It's just like that was the mindset that was keeping me stuck. It was a mindset that was toxic. And if you had to pick and choose, if happiness is your non-negotiable, pick and choose productive thoughts. Pick and choose a productive state of being. Literally do whatever it takes. So if you're depressed, there are multiple things you can do. You exercise. If you need medication, there's no shame in getting medication. Eating better. Moving your body. Going to therapy. Doing whatever it takes. Getting rid of people that are always antagonizing you and not loving you. But look at the people that start seeing people in a different point of view. Start seeing people as doing the best they can. People that are learning as they go. People are actually happy to see you. People are actually amazed, happy to talk to you. And happiness is an inside job. Everybody can, I guess, be the bonus to your happiness, but you have to create it. And that's with everything you're trying to manifest in the world. So if you want to manifest a better body, you might say, I don't want to be in this body anymore, or I want to be thinner, or for me, I want my liver to be healthy again. All these things, not doing the things that you practically know, or even if you don't know, that's okay. Not knowing is not the problem. It's not doing anything to find the answers, to find the solutions, focusing on what can I do, and then taking action towards it. That's literally all this is about, is making the actions or the thought processes, because mindset to me is like everything, because if you don't have the mindset to commit to your happiness or commit to love or commit to what you really desire, and then starting to work on all the things external around that, you're going to stay stuck. And I never want you to stay stuck, because happiness and things that you want, like having a fruitful, abundant life where you get to smile and be happy when you go to work. I mean, as happy as you can be, even no matter where you work. Maybe you're not going to be, jumping on rooftops or whatever, but maybe you will if you find love and you find like really awesome people you're working with and you're really jazzed about the knowledge and the wisdom that you carry or what have you. Like, you can have this. The only thing that's stopping you is literally you. And if you're in a depressed state, I totally understand because it's really challenging to move the needle in here where it will move the needle externally. And then your manifestations change soon. I mean, when I tell you in 2013, after I said, I'm making this non-negotiable, what do I need to do? I got a plethora of inspiration, a plethora of intuition. I got my best friend calling me every day, just to check in, and we started working on, I need you to ask me more questions, because that's what I needed. Because I learned how to ask what my needs were, and that's important too. Because that's the work. And the work isn't as hard or as horrible as staying stuck. It's not as horrible as feeling sad or upset or angry at times when you have to move through that emotion to get out and be fucking happy. And I'm cursing because it's that important. Like, it's your life. You deserve this. You deserve this. So, making it non-negotiable. Recently, because I needed to get back into getting healthy myself because of I have a liver issue, making sure that the non-negotiable part is no longer allowing the voice that says, stay asleep, or you deserve that, drink, it's been a hard week, or you deserve that ice cream. And once I'm at a place where I feel comfortable health-wise, yeah, I'm going to have an ice cream. Yeah, I'm going to have a cocktail occasionally. But that's not, my why matters more. My need to stay on this planet for longer and to support the people I'm supposed to support matters so much more than the difficulty of getting up and doing Jillian Michaels, which is actually fun after it's done. And it's actually good for your body, your mind. Like, I feel better. Things are good. Like, but the commitment is basically taking out the bullshit conversation in between, saying, if you're going to be happy, what are the steps? So I'm going to commit to this. So my suggestion, I know this is a long-winded video, but I tend to be long-winded, and I hope you enjoy it. But, so, take 3 things, and I don't want you to go overboard. You could do 5, but if you're still new at practicing this self-focus, because it's important, because you need to be a little selfish right now, or a lot selfish, depending on where you're on the scale of things, is that literally take 3 things that you're going to commit to and not have a conversation about it. And even if your brain tries to, because that's what the brain does, it doesn't want us to change the ego. It doesn't want us to change the old stories, don't want us to change, because we don't like, the brain wants us to keep us comfortable and safe. So they think the status quo is safe. The brain has its purpose. It's a survival mechanism. It's also something that you have control over, even if you don't feel that way. I've had ruminating thoughts. I've had obsessive thoughts. I've had so many different things, but you can get a handle on it. And it might not be a day process, but you're doing a baby step of 3 things. So pick 3 things that will get you into that person that already has what you want. So if you want to be happy, excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry. That is so horrible. Okay. And I don't care about embarrassing myself. I really don't, because the message is more important. And I have a limited shame anymore. So pick 3 things that you're going to commit to and not bitch about internally. Or if your inner bitch or inner dialogue tries to derail you. Because the first time I did this, it was 2013. And Jillian Michaels was also the thing that I was working at, because I needed to get in the practice that, for myself, it was to put my big girl panties on, put your big boy panties on, and start taking care of myself. And part of the taking care of was just committing to something that was about me, and it wasn't about taking care of other people, or and not wallowing, and like just getting to work, like just doing something that I could commit to. And I needed structure. So I picked Jillian Michaels' 90-day body revolution, and it changed my life. It changed my life because of the process, not necessarily because I lost 25 pounds. It was because it made me stick to what I said I was going to do for myself. That accountability was super important because it builds self-trust. It also builds the idea that you can do this with other things in your life. So if you're having a hard time with conversations, learning the skills of that, or if you're having a hard time with, it helps in every area, because you're basically learning to trust your own integrity and trust that when you need something, what you want something, when your desire is bigger than the challenge that you have to get through, that's what pulls you through, typically. So during this process, oh my God, my procrastination was so crazy. I would literally wait till almost midnight, even though I had plenty of time. Like, in logical terms, there was nothing really stopping me but myself. This is why I'm a really good expert on getting other people unstuck. It's because I was fighting with myself, and the fight, I won. And I didn't do things perfectly. I had to give up perfectionism. I had to give up things that were holding me to, because of fear. It was all fear based. It's all like, a lot of it was like not wanting to feel uncomfortable, really. And now I look forward to being uncomfortable. I look forward to not tremendous challenges, because who wants what's fucking going on now? But we can handle it. Humans are fucking resilient. We are resilient. You are resilient. You are resilient. You can handle anything. And it means going through the hard stuff to get there. You're more than welcome. But just looking back at myself then, is that myself is different now. I get up in the morning, and I'm not a morning person, mind you, but I get up in the morning and do my workout, and I'm happy, and it's not a big deal. But I made it a big deal because my brain decided to. So part of mindset work is getting a handle on all this stuff. So, moral of the story, being accountable to yourself, building that self-trust, then you know that when you need to say no, and you don't have to be antagonistic. Because really, if people love you, especially when you're working on skills like this, like you're taking 3 things out of your day that are for you. One has to be something that might be betterment of your physical, mental health. One has to be something that you love, that makes you happy. 15 minutes. It doesn't have to take long. 15 minutes of like maybe listening to your favorite band, or what have you. And then the third would be a long-term goal. Like if you want to get better at your relationship, or if you want to find a partner, or if you want to get a better body or new job, or I don't know what your goal is. Put it in the comment. Let me know. Please tell me what you want to be non-negotiable. Please like, share, subscribe, do all that jazz. Please, please, please. Because this is important. You are important. And then do it. And if you need accountability, you pay me and I'll harass you about it. Or if you're my friend, you get pro bono shit. But like, not everybody can be my friend because there's limited time, clearly. Oh, but the learning how to say no process, especially for people who have codependency or people pleasing, or fearful that people aren't going to like you, your desire is important. Your needs are important. So that means getting uncomfortable and saying, I got to work out right now. I can talk to you later, or I can do that after, or I'm sorry, I can't make that because it just doesn't work for me for what I'm doing. Like maybe it's a dinner party, or maybe just something doesn't feel right. So you are okay to say no. So this whole making happiness a non-negotiable thing is making your desire non-negotiable. It's simple, and it could be easy if you allow it to be. But I'm sure there's going to be bumps in the road. I'm sure it's going to be uncomfortable. I'm not putting that on you. But eventually it gets super easy because then you realize, wait, I feel so much better. I feel good. I feel confident. I can take on things such as, what we're going on now. Or I can take on starting a business. I can take on tackling debt. I can take on, leaving a situation that doesn't work out for me. Or these things aren't monstrous hurdles, because life is not a monstrous hurdle. It's your mind. And getting unstuck is reminding yourself of how capable you are. It's not false bravado either. There's a difference between false bravado. You can see it and sense it in other people when it's fake, when it's posturing. This is not false. This is literally what creates in your world. This is manifesting. This is manifesting. And this is the base. This is the foundation, basically. So making your happiness, or whatever your desire is, and I hope happiness is on that list, a non-negotiable. Okay? I love you. I hope you all the best. If you want to work with me, and I'm sorry I'm looking all over, I'll get this right sometime. And if not, you'll just have to deal with it. If you want to hear the message anyway. Description box, if you want to learn more, I'll link how to change your identity, and making a list of the positive attributes about yourself, because that's probably fairly important on your journey. I know it is, because it helps you get in the mindset to know that you're worthy of what you desire. Like I said, I love you. Be good or be bad, because that's relative. Be good to yourself. Be awesome. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.